Semi-final eve. Welcome to the official Handball Blitz podcast. Three-time Lismore Diocese champion Nick Davis here, inventor of the reverse backhand. But, it feels silly to make it up. It's so popular now that who even really remembers this stuff? I do. And, of course, joined always by Lockie the Sandman Sands. Hello, welcome.
Hello, it's great to be here. Great to be joined by you, Nick.
It is. It really is.
I'm in the presence of greatness. What can I say?
Look, at the end of the day, I can talk about my past achievements, and plenty of players do, when they bang on about how the game used to be. But look, that doesn't matter anymore because the semi-finals of Handball Blitz 2024 are now upon us. Somerville House is your venue, and of course, as we said this morning, after a massive bidding process, Nathan tried to put their hands up, and we said, that's ridiculous. That's just, who's going to go to that?
Yeah.
And their bid was shut down pretty quickly. The Saudis throwing money, but, it is about pure handball. So tomorrow, Somerville House will be the venue for both the North and the South semi-finals.
I mean, the Nissan Arena isn't a bad arena.
It's not a bad arena, but...
it's just not Somerville.
It's not Somerville, absolutely right. And thank you so much to Somerville House for coming to the party here. But at the end, they were the only choice. And, just the way that acoustically it's built as well. You've got big, great grandstands. Yeah. It's got a bit of a traditional feel to it. It's deep with history.
Do you know what I love about it? You have the grandstands on one side, and other Nissan Arena. Let's compare it to that. They've got grandstands on all four sides.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
No.
Because what we want is the acoustic treatment of having all the gymnastics stuff in the same hall. The foam is actually able to then the cheer doesn't bounce off the back wall. It actually carries and then deadens, and so it enables our handballers to hear it, but not have to hear it bounce back in their face again.
Yeah, absolutely, because they really need to be listening to what's happening on the court.
Exactly.
Now, I ran through a few little shoe squeaks this morning, and
yep.
I am imagining the ball is going to catch a fair bit. That's what I can tell you now to the players, is that it will be a quick court, but any shot with a bit of backspin is really going to hold up. So listen for that squeak. Of course, no black shoes, of course. We don't want to mark the courts. We know that rule. We've all been through that rule, but no, Lockie, the venue is set. We're excited. We've done our final checks. All our players are registered. They'll be on their captain's run right now, actually. And I'd imagine a lot of players doing media blackouts too, because they just don't need the distraction right now. Because, Lockie, this is it. Primary schools from all over Brisbane and the surrounding area will be descending upon Southbank tomorrow to find our two champions from the North and the South who will be playing off in the grand final in less than a week's time. How crazy is that?
Nick, as someone who is a three-time Lismore Diocese champion, ahead of your three championships, what was going through your mind the day before, the semi-finals at least?
Well, I was probably thinking about my strengths at the end. Yep. You can spend a lot of time reflecting upon maybe your weaknesses, but at the end of the day, you turn up and you play to your strength. Now, maybe you have to adjust your game, but you go, it's about visualisation.
Yeah.
So I really liked a little hit through my legs or turn around the body. Yes. Of course, that's where the reverse backhand came into it. That's where I came up with it. And I thought, all right, just run yourself a million times through your head. Just replay that shot over and over and over, because the moment's going to come when you need to use it. And if you've seen yourself doing it in your mind, then you're going to execute it. And that's all you need to think about. That's all you need to do right now. No negatives, just positives.
You were out at Hamilton State School yesterday.
I was, yes. Elite program out there at Hamilton.
Oh, fantastic.
Very small school, but very concentrated.
If there's one, term to describe the Hamilton State School, I don't think they're throwing away their shot.
No.
That's a Hamilton musical reference right there, but it doubles up quite nicely because there is some prestigious talent out at that school.
Oh, there really is. I believe there are 4 champions coming out of Hamilton State School. But what I really loved about the program is that their leaders, their school captains, and Lockie, were you a school captain?
I was a school captain in high school. Primary school didn't quite get the nod, but that's
right.
okay.
Well, sometimes you build up to it. I wasn't allowed to be school captain, I believe. I still believe that I won the popular vote, but maybe the Catholic diocese weren't too happy about a non-altar boy and someone from outside the clergy. Yep. So I was darted down to house captain and won Dennis House their first title in 21 years. But we don't talk about that. We're moving on.
That's some great leadership from you. I will recognise that.
Thank you very much. But anyway, the two captains yesterday, both Rain and Georgie, I spoke to them yesterday, and what they did, as leaders do, is they deflected and helped protect their star players, because they've got to do their ice baths yesterday morning. They had to go to training. They don't need to do media. They don't need media gibberers hanging around the schools. They stood there. They did the press conference, and that was leadership. So well done to Georgie and Rain. I think we've got a bit of it here.
We do.
Georgie, of course, you told us about a couple of our champions, Sonny and Noah. There's a lot of energy about those players. How do they go on the handball court? You've played against them, but you're fronting up doing the media conference today. Well, what are they going to be like on a semi-final day?
I think they'll do well. I think they have some there is some good competition, but I think they'll hold their own. They have some good power shot, and they can hit power shots, so I think they'll do well in the court.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think it's a power-friendly game. And just quickly, Frude and Bobby are your other two. What are people going to be looking out for?
Bob.
It was a tough question.
I think they'll be looking out for...
No, that's okay. No, if anything, you don't want to give too much away. I understand that because you've got to protect the secret. It's a very small school here, but it's an elite handball program they run. No, that definitely wasn't it, Ash. That wasn't it. That definitely wasn't it.
At that point, neither did I. The poor kid's not a professional, Nick. You're talking gibberish, old son.
Yeah, that meant nothing to him, but that's okay. That's okay. And well done. And, of course, you can hear a bit of a different quality line. Of course, as we were down at Somerville House this morning, they've got the state-of-the-art Wi-Fi, like better than SoFi Stadium in LA, I believe. Perfect 5G clarification. That's why it was so crispy. But we had some comms drop out yesterday. But that's because
another one of these schools that are employing
it happens. It's drone technology. It's military-grade stuff they put in because at the end of the day, they're trying to run an elite program. And much like the Canadian soccer team during the Olympics, there can be spying. And if they've got those jammer signals up, then it's very difficult to get a radio signal out, even as strong as ours. So honestly, well done to them.
Fantastic work from Hamilton State. So Nick, I do want to bring our attention to tomorrow's semi-final. A couple of, I guess, kids coming back. Obviously, Jet Brecken from the south side. We've got Jackson Hope, the younger brother of
A New Hope.
A New
Star
Hope.
Wars reference for you, Mitch.
Incredible. I should maintain my professionalism. A New Hope is coming through from the north side. How do you think that showdown's going to go?
Well, I mean, it's a bit like Die Hard 3, isn't it, where Hans Gruber's brother came through to play by Jeremy Irons. So, look, I'm very excited for this. Now, I don't know. No, it depends. You got to let Jackson play his own game.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that thing where you sort of project one sibling onto the other. Jackson's game may be completely different to Alex's.
Nor should you.
Now, of course, they won't. Jet and Jackson will not meet, possibly until the grand final at Suncorp Stadium. But they will get to have a look at each other. Now, Jet's had a year of development, but he also heavy as the head that wears the crown. Like, maybe the heights of last year were enough. I'm not saying he's a premiership hangover, but at the same time, he's already reached the heights, but he could be the first ever back-to-back champion of Handball Blitz. Things we've never seen before, and, puberty does different things to different people. You can't control when it comes through. Jet could be a monster by the time he turns up tomorrow. We don't know that, but what we do know is that when Jackson comes through, because he watched there, I believe he was there at Suncorp Stadium last year. I remember him at the Northside Finals at Nudgee. So he was there just watching. I think, actually, he played against Alex. Now I'm remembering.
Yes,
he played against...
He did.
Jackson was in grade 5, Alex was in grade 6. They came up against each other in about the second or third round. Now, Alex comprehensively beat him, wasn't going to let him just have a go, but he scored some points on Alex. So maybe he's a half and half. He's a little bit quicker. I'm genuinely excited, and I can reveal right now, because Lockie, as we said, you and I will both be down there.
We will be.
We are putting together a Drive to Survive style documentary. That's right. This is an exclusive.
Oh my goodness.
There will be a documentary filmed tomorrow. We'll be following a few of the champions to see how they go. Filming everything at the finals, hopefully dropping around Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
Incredible.
Now, full production crew. We've had to shut down streets around. I've signed off some final forms. Again, we don't know anything. And when you're out in the wild, sometimes some things will happen in front of you, but you can't get in. You can't interfere. You just have to let nature play out. So very excited to see that there. And, well, this is exciting stuff. Now, Lockie, of course, you have an official capacity tomorrow. I will refer to you as the tournament director. What do you want to see? Any final messages to the players, the kids, the parents, spectators, to run a successful tournament? What do you want to see tomorrow?
Just some good, clean, fair handball. It really is what is required for something like this. When a lino makes a call, you got to respect the call. I think that's important. That if you're questioning the call of our authorities, our supernovas, we've got Amber, who is the head of the referees, currently out there making sure that they're putting through the paces.
She's actually training them right now.
There is
a session that has been signed off on.
Yep.
With all directives handed down by the Handball Organisation Committee and from the Northern and Southern Hemispheres. Yes, we have a representative from the North. We won't talk about them. I know they're trying to influence the Southern game, but we try and keep it strong. They'll learn the rules. They'll be tight. They will be consistent. So parents, kids, tomorrow, respect the referees.
It's a less of a learning the rules, more of a just refining and making sure that we're across. There might have been some changes, obviously, with the introduction of VAR in some of the sports leagues across the world.
Hawkeye technology.
we want to make sure that we're utilising the technology that we have on our hands as effectively as possible.
Well, that's the thing. It's about the integrity of the game at the end of the day. So, Lockie, can you just, because again, you were our referee in the final last year. What are you looking out for tomorrow? What's been the message come down from the Handball Organising Committee, and what's been said by the Commission?
We just want to make sure that grabs are not a part of the game.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we've seen that at the top tier. We've seen that in the professional league, and that's a problem when that happens up there.
Yeah.
We've had a few players do it, and we need to crack down on it because it does trickle down to the grassroots.
We don't mind some twisties, but we don't like it when the fingers are wrapped around the finger. As long as it's an open palm as you're twisting, that is okay.
Yes, but all twisties will be watched, I believe is the messaging.
All twisties will be watched.
Will there be a warning for twisties?
There might be. It depends on the referee.
Okay.
Obviously, some referees are a little bit more strict with it, some a little bit more lenient, so it does depend on who you do get. I'm willing to say that we need to be keeping an eye out on grabs. The other thing I'd want to keep an eye out for is, back in my day, it was called the cherry bomb. I don't know what it's called nowadays.
Well, unfamiliar.
But basically, the ball has to bounce in your own square before it bounces in your opponent's square. There's none of this. You can't say, oh, it's cherries. It's none of this other stuff. No, it has to be official handball blitz rules. You can find those on the website as well.
Well, make sure you head there now. Make sure you read them. Again, if you're listening and you're playing tomorrow, I suggest heading to an indoor basketball court just so you can get a real feel for how the court's going to be.
Just in, the tournament, I guess the official referees director has just walked in.
Yes, well, I'm not too happy, fellas. Do you want to know why?
Oh, why?
Well,
pull the music for a second. Pull the music.
Okay.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding. I can't hear what it is. But the mock court that we had in the foyer has gone, and the Supernovas need to practice.
Disappointing.
The Supernovas are practicing as we speak. We have 10 to 12 of them out there, and they're ready to rumble.
Well, this is a controversy because that was laid out, perfect dimensions. We had surveyors in. We built that court to the exact dimensions.
Tell me the dimensions so I can do it. Let's go. What are the dimensions, fellas?
The official dimensions are we are looking a 1 by 5 by 1 by 5. So that's the
1 by 5.
So you're looking at 3 meters deep. 1.5 meters wide is our official size of the courts.
1 by 1.5.
If you're wanting to set this up at your house tonight,
of course, or you want to make a small miniature model.
Then you can practice with 3 meters length.
Yes.
1.5 width.
Yes.
If you want to practice for that, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Very good. All right. I know you've got your big work to go to. That's our one of our tournament directors and head of referees, Amber. All right. Well, Lockie, there's not much more to be said. We can't do anything now. We wish all the best to all our champions who'll be out there tomorrow representing your schools, your families. Guys, no pressure. It's a lot of fun. We just play for the love of the game, and we're so happy to see the sport of handball just dominating the landscape. And right now, you guys will be the pioneers that see handball introduced in the 2032 Olympics. I have no doubt in my mind.
Unreal stuff. Thanks so much for listening. And if you do still want to get involved, unfortunately, the spaces to enter the tournament are closed. But yes, you can jump on the Nova Player app right now or jump online at Nova FM and register for your chance to win tickets for your entire class.
What an incredible prize.
So if you are vying for a spot in the grand final, register. And maybe we can send your entire class. Or maybe if you're just a lover of the game.
Yeah.
If you're a lover of handball, you couldn't quite get into one of the spots for this competition, but you want to go and see the Handball Blitz Grand Final, go and register right now. Nova FM or the Nova Player app is where you can do that. And while you're there, you get the added bonus, I guess, of watching the Broncos.
Oh, yeah. They've been so good to put on both a pre-game and a post-game show around the main event. Oh, incredible stuff.
So go on and get involved. Nova FM or online on the Nova Player app. And we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.